In this video, we're going to talk about 3 of our favorite stretches. Now these are especially handy right after your workout, maybe the next day or the day after that when you're feeling really sore. So these 3 stretches, first stretch right here, Emily's going to demonstrate, it's our half kneeling hip flexor stretch. So you're going to put one knee down, your legs are in a pretty narrow stance, so you wouldn't want this leg out to the side. So she's in a pretty narrow stance right here. From there, she's going to push her hips forward. Now what she's not doing, she's not going to overextend at the low back. We don't want to do that. We don't want to arch the low back. So she's standing up nice and tall, pushing the hips forward, and then if she wants to get take the stretch to the next level, she can kind of turn into the front leg right here. And she's going to feel this right on the front of this hip. Now when we're doing this stretch, we want to hold it for about 45 to 60 seconds, and then we would just switch legs and repeat. Our second stretch is a bent over lat stretch. This is a great stretch for the upper body, the upper back in particular, back of the shoulders. Now you could do this at home on a couch, a chair, a table, anything. So all she's doing is putting her arms right here, and then she's kind of dropping her hips back to create a stretch right here in her lat muscles, which is this large muscle in the upper body. Now if she wants to take this stretch a step further, she could turn her shoulders just slightly to one side, and she'd feel it on this bottom arm right here, and then she could go to the other side. She'll feel it more on this side right here. Now, if this bothers your shoulder at all, what you can do to modify it is put your hand just a little bit wider. What that tends to do is to give this shoulder joint right here a little bit more room to work. So on this stretch, same thing, you would want to hold it for about 45 to 60 seconds. The third and final stretch is what we call a pigeon pose, or a pigeon stretch that we'll do on our table right here. Again, you could do it at home on a bed, couch, chair, table, pretty much anywhere. So the setup right here, first we got the foot on the ground. What you can see is that the toe is pointed in. That's important. We don't want to point the toe out. We want the toe pointed in. That's going to help her internally rotate there at the hips. The next point is that this front leg right here is at about a 90-degree bend. Right now, if this stretch is too much for you, what you can do is bring your foot back. You can slide your foot closer to you, and that will make it, you will be not quite as intense of a stretch. But ideally, your foot's going to be or your knee's going to be at about a 90 degrees. The third step is to take your opposite shoulder and bring it down towards your knee right here. So she's bringing the shoulder down towards her knee, and in doing so, she's going to feel it right here on the hip of the leg that's on the table. Now from here, you can, to see where you might feel a little bit more sore at, she could come over like one way or the other, and as you kind of just reposition yourself, you'll find that it might stretch different parts of the hip. So on this, same thing, we would hold it for about 45 to 60 seconds, switch sides, rinse and repeat. Give it a try, and let us know if you have any questions whatsoever.